So what does density look like? Well, to understand that, we're going to now go to the density quiz that you have the answer sheet there with you. And so there's 17 different projects. We're going to go through them. I'm going to show you the project. You're going to circle the density for that project that you think fits. And then we're going to see what it really is and see how well you do. The reason this is interesting is a couple of reasons. First of all, it just gives you a sense of what these things look like and feel like. It'll also hopefully give you a better sense of what is really a high density number and what is a low density number. I've seen people protest 4 units an acre at public hearings. Is that really on the high end of things? Well, we'll see. And what I want you to do is answer as quickly as possible, because people tend to react to these things viscerally and not with deep analysis. So I'm not going to give you much time to answer. Viscerally react and try to guess, and then we'll see how you do and what we can learn from it. So this is project number 1. So go ahead and take your best shot and make a quick guess. This was 4 units an acre. This is outside of Las Vegas. And this is project number 2, another single-family home. I see a lot of movement out there. I think you all have it. 17 units an acre. 17 units an acre. These are a little smaller lots. The 2-story configuration helps. This is a development called Aggie Village in Davis, California. So this is project number 3, townhomes in Brea, California. $24. That one was too easy. I saw a lot of smiles. So here is project number 4. This is in Redwood City, actually, an apartment complex built in the 60s. Good location, by the way, right across from Whole Foods. 80 units per acre. 80 units. Project number 5, also in Redwood City. Built in the 20s. Mixed in with single-family homes, by the way.
It's not one house.
No, that's an apartment building. Yeah, that's an apartment building, but all the neighbors are single-family homes. It was built before zoning. There was no zoning to stop multifamily from coming in. 72 units per acre.
How are you counting this? With the single family around it?
No, just the parcel
And then
that this, exactly. So this is far less than an acre, for example, that this project is on. It's only 20 or 15 units, but you multiply it, you figure out how many acres, it's 0.3 acres or whatever, multiply that by the unit count, and there you go. Project number 6, also in Redwood City, not quite as nice. $96. And that's on only 3 stories because the ground floor is all parking. It's all parking. Project number 7, another Redwood City building. Okay. 112. 112. What's that? I can't recall. I did this calculation a couple of years ago for a prior presentation, but I think it's about in the neighborhood of 20 or 25. Parking is tucked under, but the parking ratio would be considered tight by today's standards. It's not a 1-to-1 ratio. Project number 8. $50. This is the infamous Cabrini Green federal housing project in Chicago. The reason the density is so low is most of the parcel is taken up by green space. Back in the urban renewal days, the thought was if only you could give poor people a lot of grass, that their lives would dramatically improve and everyone would be successful and happy, but it had to be torn down because it was a pretty miserable failure. And now this is no longer the policy of the federal government because it really did not work. So this is project number 9. Project number 10, now we're moving into the Palo Alto part of the quiz. This is on Forest Street. Actually, all my Palo Alto examples are from Forest Street. So that's 45. 45. So there's another angle on it. Project 11, a couple blocks up. Older vintage. That one's kind of tough to see. I hope you're all familiar with it. It's Lanning Chateau. That one's 174. 174. Lovely open space on the corner in front with a fountain, grand entryway into the lobby. Very nice. It's got a very Ivy League feel with the ivy growing on it. The reason the density is so high is almost all of the lot is covered. There's no on-site parking that I could find, and on top of that, the units are probably pretty small, I'm assuming. This is Project 12, right across the street. Hopefully you're familiar with it. 650 or 655, 355, 365, I'm sorry, Forest. 45 again. 45 must be the magic number for the newer projects. I don't know if that's what pencils out for the developers better nowadays or if that's what the zoning requires, but both of the new ones had the same density. Another shot. Project 13, final Palo Alto example, and that one is also, that's right across the street from the prior two, also on the 300 block of Forest. '51. This one is actually 1 story taller than the Lanning Manor. You would expect the density to be higher. By the way, very nice details, lovely building, but a lot of open space on that lot. Big courtyard in the back. This one also has parking provided, whereas the other building didn't. So all those factor in, and yet I called yesterday, there's an apartment available, and the units in this building range from $2,400 to $2,900 a month. So obviously people don't feel deprived necessarily living in a nice apartment building. Project 14. Oh, I'm sorry, Redwood City again. Not Palo Alto. 80. Now, out of curiosity, everybody look at your answer sheets. Does anybody have a different answer for 14 and 4? Or do you have the same answer? Who has the same? Raise your hand. Okay, you guys win a prize for the day, whatever it may be. Same building. Same building. This is before the remodel. Didn't look nearly as nice, and so that it's amazing how aesthetics can throw you off, even though it's the same building. So people tend to associate maybe less attractive with more density, but not necessarily the case. We're almost at the end. Project number 15 here. I wish the lighting was better. This is a brand new high-rise condominium building in Austin, Texas. And it's what they call a point tower, which is the Vancouver model, where you've got a simple central elevator and stairway shaft with a single loaded corridor going around it, with all the units having a corner exposure and very slender towers as opposed to bulkier ones of the past, and it's very popular. That's 342. And there's only 3 homes still available according to the website, so if you're interested, you better hurry. Second to last, we're almost there, project 16. This is Paris. Good friend of mine lives in this building, at least part-time. $384, denser than the high-rise. And this is why, very high lot coverage. Last one, project 17. This is San Francisco. Yeah. 0, office building. Tall does not mean high residential density. Trick question. So, clearly, the density number cannot tell us a lot of things. It can't tell us if it's affordable or luxurious or tall or short. We saw a lot of tall buildings that were less dense than low buildings. It can't tell us if it's beautiful or ugly. Could be either. It can't tell us if it's owners or renters. A lot of these buildings that you saw were condominiums. Owners lived there, not renters. Can't tell you if it's crime prone or if it's safe or if it's overcrowded or spacious.